We reserve a few minutes to discuss current trends that you'd expect from reading Bible prophecy. J. Dwight Pentecost said, "The Bible is different from every other religious book. There is no other book upon which a religion has been founded which includes prophecy within it. These books upon which false religions or false cults are founded seek to interpret the past or the present, but they are entirely silent upon the future. And yet the Word of God, from the opening chapters of Genesis right through the closing chapters of the book of Revelation, contain countless prophecies." There are hundreds of unfulfilled prophecies remaining. We are futurists. That means we interpret those unfulfilled prophetic passages as future events that will happen in a literal, physical, global context. After the church has been resurrected and raptured, a strong world leader will gain totalitarian control of his citizens. He will require they swear allegiance to him. Anyone who refuses will be executed. The pandemic, COVID-19, it's not an end times plague. It's not mentioned in the Bible. It's not one of those things. But it has accelerated an acceptance of totalitarian government around the globe. Now, as we proceed in this, all we're doing is pointing out prophetic insights. We're not taking a position on COVID, on any of the things surrounding it. That's up to you. You and the Lord figure out how you want to deal with COVID-19. We're just seeing it as a precursor to what is going to happen in the future. The methods being mandated by governments with regard to masks and distancing, quarantine, lockdowns, vaccinations, they're a preview of just how easy it will be in the Great Tribulation to hold sway over the world's population. I read an article titled, "Australia Falls Back into Arbitrary Restrictions as Omicron Emerges." Let me just say this, cancel your vacation to Australia. In Western Australia, life seems to go on as normal in a lovely zero COVID bubble. But like the Truman Show, no matter how hard they try, Western Australians can never leave. Their premier has refused to even provide a date for when borders will open. The health department for Queensland has confirmed that those seeking organ transplants will be denied surgery if they refuse to get the vaccine. The rules do not make exceptions for those who choose not to get the vaccine for legitimate health concerns. In the state of Victoria, the Pandemic Management Bill replaces the Premier's emergency powers with permanent powers to deal with what they call long COVID. Premier Daniel Andrews and the state health minister can now unilaterally declare a lockdown for the whole state of 6.7 million people, even if there are no cases. With little to no judicial oversight, the police can enter private homes and detain people. Additionally, specific pandemic rules can be created for groups or classes of people based on their characteristics, attributes, or circumstances. The people of Melbourne, Victoria, spent 262 days combined under one of the world's strictest lockdowns, and now they are struggling. The state government recognizes the harm lockdowns have had on mental health, but state leaders refuse to give individuals the certainty they need by ending lockdowns. Instead, the government is simply building dedicated mental health hospitals. Most controversially, the Northern Territory has set up a quarantine facility at Howard Springs for those traveling from abroad and close contacts in need of a safe place to isolate. Social media has been infected with overreactions to these facilities, with non-Australians claiming they are reminiscent of concentration camps. Read an article this morning from a couple of weeks ago. Germany is now adopting a program where if you've been vaccinated, you can participate in society. If you have not, you cannot. And so they're making the divide between the haves and the have-nots pretty big. The governor of Washington State here at home recently said, and I quote, 34% of Washingtonians are walking around with a time bomb in their backpack because they're not vaccinated. Now, what do we usually call a person with a time bomb in their backpack? We call them a terrorist. And so this is, words are powerful, right? They have meaning. And so the governor there thinks that if you're not vaccinated, that you are a terrorist. There's not a Christian position we must hold on COVID-19 masks or distancing and all the rest. That's between you and the Lord and your family and your doctor. Our interest in these things is purely from a prophetic standpoint. I think you can see that the world is headed towards the future the Bible predicts. This isn't it. We're not in the tribulation. There's no Antichrist. But I know in the back of our head you think, well, it's going to be really difficult to get people under that kind of control all of a sudden in the Great Tribulation. It's not. Not going to be difficult at all. In fact, people will want to be connected in that way. Now, we believe the resurrection and rapture of the church are imminent. It could happen any moment. Nothing needs to happen before it. It will occur before the Great Tribulation. Are you ready for the rapture? If not, get ready, stay ready, keep looking up. Ready or not, Jesus is coming.